My name is Carl Cadify, and I'm the head of Adult Services at your Civic Center Library. Episode 2 is going to be dealing with a couple of items. Number one, we're going to take a look at the genealogical resources available here at the library, and then I'm going to introduce you to 4 search engines that you as researchers, genealogists, both starting out and more professional, would make sure you want to utilize in your research. In our first episode, I introduced those individuals who were thinking about searching for information on their family history to resources not available on the internet. I introduced you to items that you could possibly find at home, at the homes of your ancestors, and also in the memories of your aunts, uncles, grandparents, parents, cousins, whoever. So during this past few weeks, I hope you've been collecting this information and organizing it, because again, organization is going to help you out as you continue through your genealogical research. So we've organized, and now we're getting ready to see what is out there to help you with your further research. Again, today we'll be looking at what is available here at the Bennett Civic Center Library. I'm going to touch a little bit on Ancestry Library Edition, take a look at FamilySearch, My Heritage Library Edition, and finally end with Cindy's List. Now, wherever you go and wherever your research leads you, trust me, you are going to want to find the library there. It doesn't matter if it's a village, a town, a city, a county. Please go on Google, search for the library, and see what resources they have that could benefit your research. These libraries, 3 out of the 4, are in fact family history libraries. The one in the upper left-hand corner is the Family History Library in Salt Lake City, Utah. The one upper right is the Allen County Public Library in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Underneath the Family History Library here, we have Detroit Public Library, and then I put simply a picture of a public library, again, to indicate that you really should get to know the public library in the area of where you will be researching. And now, how about I take you into the Civic Center Library and give you an introduction as far as what we have here to help you with your genealogy. This should look sort of familiar. I know we've been closed for a while, but hopefully in the near future we will be opening the doors and welcoming patrons back as soon as possible. Coming into the atrium, you would enter the library, and walking into the library, you would see the browsing desk. From the browsing desk, you would take a look to the left, notice the stairs, and the stairs would then lead you up to the second floor. From the second floor, head toward the reference desk, and just beyond the reference desk on the right-hand side is located our genealogy collection. Libraries, whether it be public, whether it be academic, all the libraries may have a different setup to their collections. And that's why it's important to make contact with these libraries to see not only what they have, but how they are set up. Here at the Civic Center Library, we have a collection of materials, mostly books, and we're going to have them arranged in a very specific manner. So as you come into the collection, our first group of books deal just with genealogy in general. And it could be anything from passenger ship information, maybe maps of Europe to help you find a particular village, possibly in Poland, Russia, France. It may have information on passenger lists. It may have information on Canada, on the Scotch-Irish, surnames. So just in general, genealogical information. Farther down this particular shelving of books, the materials will then be arranged by state, alphabetically by state. If you are looking for materials from Virginia, easy. Just look for the VA on top of the books, and there you'll find all of our Virginia materials. And we have that for all of the 50 states. All of the 50 states are represented, but there are certain states that have more information in it than others. How did we get these books? A few ways. We purchased some of them. The Western Wayne County Genealogical Society has been super generous throughout my time here and previously to coming here to Livonia back in 2007, where they will actually donate monies to the library in order to help us purchase materials for our collection. And number three, there are times where people are going through their parents' or their aunts and uncles' collection of books, and they run across genealogy books. Please don't throw them out. Once we get over the COVID thing and we're back open and we're accepting donations, please contact me at the library. Just tell me, hey, we've got some things that I found in Uncle John's collection. Would you be interested in possibly incorporating them into the collection? I'd be more than happy to take a look at them. And if not, then we would pass them on to the book sale or pass them on to Western Wayne County Genealogical Society. So here we are in the first section of books of the 50 states. As you look down the aisle, you'll see a smaller collection. These books are specifically for the state of Michigan. We have basically put Michigan, given it its own separate little collection. And here you'll find information on Michigan place names, Michigan in the Civil War, histories of a variety of counties or areas of the state of Michigan that could possibly help you out. And finally, on the other side, we have this wall of books still in the state of Michigan, but we have actually now cataloged it and categorized it by county. In your research, you may happen across a French ancestor who may have made his way or her way up from Monroe County into Wayne County and settled in the area. This is where you are going to find books on Monroe County, on Lenawee County, on Schoolcraft County, on Mackinac County, counties in the Lower Peninsula and in the Upper Peninsula. Some of the information here, yep, you're going to find it on the internet, but we've purchased many of the materials and they are here for you to utilize. You can come in and research, make copies, whatever you want, but these books are here for your particular research. Now, along with the books, we also have a genealogy computer. A genealogy computer specifically reserved for those interested in doing their genealogy. So once we are back open and we'll have the computer back up and ready. Once you sign into the computer, there will be a collection of icons sitting on the side here. Now I know right now they're a little bit blurry, but this is basically what is going to be on the computer. Well, Ancestry Library Edition. The two items of note, the Clio book and the Stemmons Library, these were actually donated by the Western Wayne County Genealogical Society, and they contain probably over 1,000 downloaded books on the early histories of a variety of counties from the Northeast to the Mid-Atlantic states to the Great Lakes states, probably out to Wisconsin, Minnesota, those areas there. A wonderful resource for you to utilize tracing your early ancestral times in the United States. If you happen to have French-Canadian ancestry, this one here, the Red Drouin and the Tanguay, phenomenal resources for you to access and look at records of early Quebec, Ontario, Catholic records, and the like. When you're doing information and research for Michigan, pay close attention to Sacred Heart Cemetery. We have a little bit on Midland County, and then St. Mary Cemetery, Parish Township, Huron County. These are actually going to be downloaded to the CPU, and you won't find those Michigan records on the internet. While you're here, or even at home, and you accessed the library's website, which is right here, LivoniaLibrary.info. And the way you get to the genealogy page is by simply moving here to research, and this particular page will pop up. So, what's available from our genealogical page on our website? First and foremost are the two top items: the Livonia Observer Marriage Engagement Index, and then the Livonia Observer Obituary Index. A little background. We are the only library in the state of Michigan that has the Livonia Observer from mid-1955 up to the present. Through volunteers and through staff members, we have created these two particular indexes encompassing all of those years. For the Obituary Index, the Livonia Observer Marriage Engagement Index runs from middle 1955 up to the end of 1962. This is currently an ongoing project, and we will be continuing to add and go through the microfilm, adding names as we go on. Another item of note is the Detroit News Obituary Index. Now, this obit index is going to encompass the years 1980 through about 2001. Now, not everybody had an obituary, and there are other records that will help you out to find information about a past ancestor. So if you happen across that, you don't find an obituary, there's still other things out there for you to access. The last obituary index of note is the Wayne County Review Obituary Index, which was a newspaper in Wayne, Michigan, and we had requested the tapes, And these tapes ran from 1930 through the end of 1939. We went through the tapes and created an obituary index. So if they happen to be in the Wayne area, Inkster area, Livonia, Nankin Township, there could be a chance that they could be in that particular index. And another link of note is that one right there, the Western Wayne County Genealogical Society. This is your genealogical society of note if you are doing research in the Livonia area, in the Western Wayne County area. Currently, they are not having physical meetings. They usually meet right here at the Livonia Senior Center. But I would emphasize greatly to you, click on their link, see what they have. Their members are dedicated researchers, friendly, and they're more than happy to help you out, help any researcher out find information on their genealogy. Libraries. Libraries will always be a valuable resource in your research. And it doesn't matter how big a library is or how small it is. What matters are two things: the resources they have inside and the people they have inside. Because it's going to be these librarians that will be assisting you with your research. They won't do your research. Nope, they're not going to do that. But what they will do is you can come with them with questions. For example, would you happen to know where the marriage records for Putnam County, Ohio are? Are they at the courthouse? Could they be at the Historical Society? The librarians at the libraries will point you in the right direction. Probably save you a lot of legwork. So keep that in mind. Visit the library's website for any online genealogical information. A lot of these libraries are finding materials in their collection or having patrons bring materials to them, and they're actually downloading them and saving them and creating files and making them available off of their website. So if you happen to be looking for well, here's an example. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. The Toledo Lucas County Library has a marvelous collection of images called Images in Time. And I was able to find both houses that my father was born in and that my mother was born in. Actual images, photographs taken in the early 1930s. And that I made copies of and put it into my own particular family's genealogical collection. My sons have a sort of an interesting time when they take a look and see the way houses were built back then and compared to what our ranch is looking like. So the early houses of Toledo, Ohio, and the suburbs of Detroit and Canton, Michigan, a little bit of a variety there. If you can't find anything online, contact the library either by phone or email. Libraries usually have an Ask Reference or some kind of a contact via email that you would be able to simply type in and utilize, and again, ask them for information that way. Well, this page looks a little bit familiar, doesn't it? But we're not going to really concentrate with this. What we are going to do is now give you some information about 4 search engines that are going to help you research and search for information from your family. And we're going to start with Ancestry Library Edition. Now, this is similar to Ancestry.com. The key to remember is it's the library edition. You may see that it says in library use only, but, and I'll mention this later on in the presentation, patrons will be allowed to access it remotely through December 31st of this year. Again, you'll be able to access it remotely from your house through December 31st of this year. So how do you do that? When we click on Ancestry Library Edition, this particular page pops up. I will enter my library card number, my Livonia library card number. I will then enter my 4-digit PIN number. Once I do that and click Submit, up comes up the Ancestry Library Edition homepage. Ancestry.com and Ancestry Library Edition, though they come from Ancestry, are two different things. Ancestry.com is an individual subscription service, whereas Ancestry Library Edition was a subscription service for public libraries. However, it was due to the pandemic, Ancestry has given us this gift of utilizing Ancestry Library Edition remotely. And trust me, we do thank them a lot. Now you're ready to explore. We're going to just hit the search button. And here you're ready to search. You see two variety of searches here. This one on the left will be your basic search. This one on the right, I don't like to use the word advanced, but for us today, we'll use enhanced searching. For those of you who want to really explore what Ancestry Library Edition has, you can do that by just clicking on any of the continents here. So you can see I have USA clicked, and it pulled up all the states, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico included. If your research takes you to a particular state beyond where your ancestors were born, in my genealogy, I've traced ancestors to Iowa, then back to Illinois. I've had them in Colorado, in Tennessee, and they all centered upon Toledo, Ohio, and emigrated outward. So you never know where you're going to end up. And you can do this for Canada, Europe, wherever you want. It makes it available to you to see what resources they have specific to a location. If you really want to take a look and see, you can come over here and click on the card catalog. And that's basically what it's going to be. A card catalog is going to allow you to do a little bit of researching either by title or by keyword. Just think of it as you're searching for a book in a library. That's it. But pay close attention to this. There are 10,529, not books, but collections. And inside each of those collections are multiple pages. So if you're not doing anything and you want to do the card catalog, not a problem. And again, I can't emphasize this enough to you. Ancestry Library Edition is a subscription service made available to libraries, but due to COVID has been made available for remote access through December 31st, 2020. So please access Ancestry Library Edition while you can. So here we go. I'm going to show you some searches. And I'm going to just search my last name, Cadify. Nice Polish name. And at present, I have around 65 to 66 different spellings for my last name. We're going to be dealing with surnames in an episode called Surname Scrabble. Just wait for that one. I've typed my name in, and here are my results. And you can see right here that with just using the word Cadify, I have around a little over 4,800 hits. I have census records, birth, marriage, and death records, military records, immigration, emigration, school directories, court, land, wills, financials, family trees, everything there. I have it all broken down. If I want to search something specifically, like a census record, I could click on that and the census records would load. If I want to see military, I could click on military and military would load. Trick coming up. Same search, I'm going to do one different thing. I'm going to click that exact box. And what that means is just what it says. I only want results the way that name is spelled specifically. Here's what happens. I click search, and now 2,662 hits. Almost half that. Here we go again. My name. And in the drop-down box, you'll see exact spelling, which I showed you. Sounds like. Basically what it means. Any name that sounds like Cadify. Similar. Similar is going to indicate possible misspellings. K-O-T-A-F-I-A-C-Z. Anything of that nature. And then finally, Soundex. Soundex is going to be a tool that was created during the Depression for people to utilize, helping them with census records. We'll go more into it when we deal with census records. But if you want to know what your Soundex is for your last name, take a look at your driver's license. It'll be the letter and the first 3 digits. That'll be your Soundex. And again, you'll have to wait till we talk about the census records to learn more about Soundex. But I was in a decent mood, a fun mood. I'm going to take a look at everything. I want to see everything you have on Cadify. And now, I've got 350,115 hits. Well, I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of 24-hour research. That might be a little much for me. But look at what just clicking certain things will do to your searching. And that's the fun part of genealogy. When you get into these searches, by just clicking, you're there to learn to discover. And the discovery, it's a blast, let me tell you. this is the expanded search I want to show you. And here, by clicking expanded, all of this kind of information comes up. I can put in a birth year. I can put in a location. If I happen to know the father's name, the mother's name, I could put their name there. A spouse, first and last name. Anything that you can add to this particular expanded search will in fact help you out. So we're going to use Cadify. Again, I was born in Toledo. My ancestors were born in Poland, exact to the country. And any event means birth, marriage, death. Are there wills there? Any event possible. Once I click the search, my search, limited to what I put in these search boxes, will now result me with 22 hits. And the best part, that person right there, the highlighted person right on top, will be my dad's parents. So that's sort of cool. And then I can go back from there. Ancestry Library Edition. That's one you really have to play around with. We return to the libraries page. Right next door to Ancestry Library Edition is My Heritage Library Edition. Once you click on that, up comes this particular box, and you'll notice you don't have to put in your library card, your PIN number, anything like that. All you have to do is click right there, My Heritage Library Edition, and off we go. You can see that the search box in My Heritage Library Edition, pretty similar to Ancestry. First and last name, year of birth, place. You're going to discover that in a lot of these search engines. The search boxes are going to be very, very similar. So once you get the hang of one, you'll be experts at the ones that follow. They too, like Ancestry Library Edition, will give you the ability to see what records they have via location. That by just clicking somewhere on the map, happen to click the United States, and so once again, here are the records from all the United States. If I wanted to see records from Poland, I'd click Europe, up would pop the countries, and I would simply click Poland and see what resources they have available there. Now, we will come here off of our basic screen. They too have something called an advanced search. They too have something here called exact search. If you want to narrow down the amount of hits, you can always click this. Unclick with translations, you'll be fine. Advanced search, similar to Ancestry Library Edition. Name, events, relatives, keywords. The more you put in, the more narrow your results are going to be. Well, you're going to be stuck with Cadify searches for quite a bit of time here, so just bear with me. So I put my last name there. The residence, once again, is Toledo, Ohio. And after I click search, I have approximately 765 results. And like Ancestry Library Edition, here are categories that I can search through and find specific information on my ancestors. These databases are free. You don't have to pay for them. And that's why it's so important to make you aware of them. There is another database coming right up next that's also free. Utilizing all three together, search engines together, you're going to do phenomenal research. The next I'm talking about is FamilySearch. And you can see right up top, FamilySearch.org. Here on this website, you will need to create a free account. It's not hard. Boom. After you sign up, you make a login, you make a password, click that, and here we go. FamilySearch. Now, FamilySearch is a phenomenal website. FamilySearch is done by the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, and they take it upon themselves to collect as much family history as possible. And again, I can't emphasize enough, it's free. The amount of information that you're going to get from these websites, the free websites, super. We're going to go to search. And when the search screen pops up, you are going to have choices to make. Records, images, family tree, genealogies, catalog, books, or wiki. Let's take a look and see. When we search records, again, first name, last name, birthplace, years. The boxes here, you can check for exact searching. I usually like to leave them unchecked just to see what pops up, and if there are too many, then I'll check them. Historical records. As we continue down, well, I'm sorry, let me go back one quick second here for historical records. This would be census, birth, marriage, death, military, passenger list, directories, school yearbooks. That pretty much covers it. Quite a bit of information there. Okay. And all of these you would be able to just type in a name and it would search for those particular records. If you click images, images are not photographs. Historical images, and these get added day after day after day. In fact, when I made the presentation, I believe they were up to over 4 billion, that's billion with a B, billion images. The images have not been indexed, and so the only way that you can research these images would be to go through them one at a time. For example, they have a collection of church records from the Archdiocese of Toledo. The baptism, communion, marriage, death records of all the churches. They're not indexed anywhere. I can't simply type something into the search box and it pops up. I need to do my homework. so that if I see that one of my ancestors was born on a certain day, I can go into that collection, find the actual book, the downloaded image, research the collection, and hopefully find my ancestors' information where they say it's going to be. So, historical images. FamilySearch Family Tree. What FamilySearch allows you to do is you can actually begin creating your family tree onto that website. It's a pretty neat thing. Find the information, put it there, save it, and you have it stored, collected, waiting for you to work on. Genealogies. Genealogies are similar to family trees. However, the difference is that in genealogies, these trees, these genealogies have been submitted with the sole purpose that they will be allowed to be utilized for research. It's up to you. If you want to put your family tree there, you can have people look at it, or you don't have to have people look at it. It's all up to you. But again, great resources. Not necessarily to log in, copy, paste. We don't want to do that. Possibly if you're stuck, you run into one of these brick walls in your research, searching genealogies or a family tree may help you with a clue in order to do the research and find that source of the information that you're looking for. The FamilySearch catalog. The FamilySearch catalog, this website has not only downloaded images, but books, microfilm, a collection of materials, publications, old county histories, etc., etc. So by searching the catalog and typing in a particular name there, and it could be a place name, a surname, probably don't know the author or title unless you do have a specific book you're looking for. But for example, if I was searching for a town in Poland, I could type in Poznań, click search, and it will list me all the materials that they have listed regarding Poznań, Poland. It could be family histories, civil records, church records, etc., 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 all waiting for you to utilize. The FamilySearch Digital Library, these are actual downloaded hard books, books from the past, that are now made available to you to search and scroll through for free. A gentleman here at the library was looking for information on a surname in his family, and we were able to trace it back into the 1600s, 1500s, utilizing a lot of the books that we found here in this particular collection. So books do have pertinence in your research. That you have to remember. And finally, a lot of you are going to be coming up and not knowing any information on where your ancestors came from, the village, possibly the nation. Who knows? Just depends on how far back you go. This FamilySearch Research Wiki will give you a little bit of background to that area, to that nation that your family happened to come from. So here are some examples. I'm going to switch it up here. I'm going to use another good Polish name, Kupiec. So the Kupiec I'm going to check that box. That basically means I want to search it exactly. So with Kupiec, 12,736. When I uncheck the box for the surname, draw your attention to the number of results. It jumps up to 58,885. That's quite a big difference. But it's just a matter of playing with the websites. You learn by experience. You learn by going in there and just playing with it and getting comfortable with it and just seeing what you can discover. That's what's available to you out there. Now, the last one that we're going to be dealing with today, that I'm going to introduce to you, is a super website. There are millions upon millions of genealogical websites out there. How do you keep track of them? Do you make little cards and put them in a file cabinet? I don't know. If you Google search, how many times are you going to spin your wheels? You could run across things. But please, I'd like you to take a look at a website called Cindy's List. And the website is right there, www.cindyslist.com. When there is a real Cindy, and when she came on the scene, she was a woman, Tacoma, Washington, genealogist, and she decided to take it upon herself to scour the internet and create this collection of websites that she could pass along to her members in her genealogical society to assist in their research. Well, that began in 1995. She opens her website to everybody in 1996. By the end of 1996 now, she found over 10,000 links. If we fast forward to today, take a look at that number of links. 337,000 plus links. Think of Cindy's List as a humongous genealogy website library. That's the way to think about it. Categories, 223 categories. By states, countries, military. All of these categories here to help you out. And again, this is a fun one to play around with. This is a fun one just to see what's out there. Rather than have you keep clicking, this is like one-stop shopping. Okay. Cindy put so much time and effort into keeping this thing current, into keeping her website current, that when I found information on Cindy, I came across an article, and it said, she mentions that she has not done any serious research of her own family since the website went public in 1996 because she's devoting so much time to this. She has cousins and sisters who will continue to do the family research, but she continues to strive to do this. So you can see the links, the categories, but here's some cool stuff. Browse new links. These would be, every couple of days, Cindy will put a collection of links that she's discovered and make available to the public. In your research, you might happen across a link that Cindy doesn't know about. Genealogy is meant to be shared. Your genealogy among your ancestors, your research methodology amongst genealogists. Cindy makes it possible to submit a new link to her website. And how many times have we been on the internet and we click something and it doesn't do anything? Here, you're able to report a broken link to Cindy, and she will, in fact, look into it. So, I can only encourage you emphatically to take some time, pull up Cindy's list, and just see what's there. It's going to blow your mind. So here we come to the end of episode 2. And I know I've given you quite a bit. Right now, you can't really come into the library. If you want to keep abreast as far as our reopening plans and the phases, again, go to LivoniaLibrary.info. That's LivoniaLibrary.info, and you will be able to keep up with our upcoming reopening plans to hopefully get you folks back into the library, because you know something? We want you back. We really do. We took a look at Ancestry Library Edition, MyHeritage Library Edition, FamilySearch. Those 3 particular search engines, please utilize them to their fullest, especially that top one. Remember, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, December 31st, 2020, you have remote access capability. And then Cindy's list, a cornucopia of genealogy. See what's out there, see what's new, see what you can use. It's pretty cool. And so for episode 3, you have your homework now, right? So you're going to go out and explore. And so episode 3, we're going to be, I shouldn't say we, I'm going to be talking about, well, not necessarily the Three Stooges, but it's what the Three Stooges are portraying in this, their own episode. And that would be right there. They are actually census takers. So when you come back for episode 3, we will be talking about the federal census. It started in 1790, and heck, we have one in 2020. But research-wise, genealogy-wise, the most recent census records that you have access to research is the 1940 census. Public law holds the censuses for 72 years before releasing them to the public. That's something to remember. We will take a look at those census records made available to you. So again, I want to thank you for spending some time here today. I want to wish you good luck and good researching. Please stay safe and healthy. We look forward to welcoming you back to the library, and I look forward to episode number 3 when we talk of the federal census. Take care. Bye-bye.